What if I told you the God of the Old Testament isn't God at all? For 2,000 years, the early Gnostic Christians held a secret so dangerous, the church burned their texts and executed anyone who spoke it. They claimed Yahweh, the wrathful deity of Genesis, was not the true God, but an impostor. A cosmic architect they called the Demiurge, a false god who trapped humanity in material prison. Today, you're going to discover what the church erased, and why this ancient knowledge might be the key to your spiritual liberation. Let's start with the bombshell. According to Gnostic texts like the Apocryphon of John and the Hypostasis of the Archons, the God who created the physical world is not the supreme divine source. The Gnostics taught that above Yahweh exists the true God, the monad, the pleroma, the infinite source of pure consciousness. This true God is beyond form, beyond gender, beyond the petty emotions of anger and jealousy. But Yahweh, the Gnostics called him Yaldabaoth, the blind God. Born from Sophia's fall from the pleroma, he's a cosmic mistake, an arrogant architect who doesn't even know a higher God exists. Listen to what the Apocryphon of John says. He declared, "I am God, and there is no other God beside me." For he is ignorant of his strength, the place from which he had come. Think about that. The creator of this world doesn't know he's not the ultimate creator. He's spiritually blind. But here's where it gets darker. If Yahweh isn't God, what does that make us? The Gnostics had a radical answer. You are not Yahweh's creation. You are a divine spark from the true God, trapped in the Demiurge's material prison. Here's the story. When Sophia fell from the pleroma, her divine essence scattered into the material realm. The Demiurge used this stolen light to create humanity, trapping fragments of the true God inside physical bodies. Genesis says God created man in his image. The Gnostics flipped this. Yahweh created bodies, but he had to steal divine consciousness from Sophia to animate them. You are a prisoner of light in a cage of flesh. This explains everything about the human condition. Why do you feel disconnected from your body? Why does meditation reveal a consciousness that transcends physical form? Why do mystics across all traditions speak of an inner divine essence? Because you're not from here. You're a fragment of infinity, temporarily trapped in Yahweh's material simulation. So if we're divine prisoners, why can't we remember who we really are? Because the Demiurge doesn't work alone. The Gnostic texts describe his enforcers, the Archons, planetary rulers who govern the material realm and keep humanity spiritually asleep. These aren't metaphors. The Nag Hammadi texts name 7 Archons, each controlling a sphere of influence: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Sound familiar? These are the same 7 heavens described in Jewish mysticism. But here's the key. The Archons don't want you to wake up. They feed on human ignorance, fear, and attachment to material things. Every time you identify with your ego, your possessions, your social status, you're feeding the Archons. The Gospel of Philip says it plainly. Ignorance is the mother of all evil. The Archon's primary weapon isn't force, it's amnesia. They make you forget you're divine. This is why the Old Testament God demands obedience, sacrifice, and worship. It's a control system designed to keep you locked in fear-based consciousness, never questioning the nature of your prison. But if the system is rigged, how do we escape? This is where Gnostic Christianity gets revolutionary. Jesus wasn't sent by Yahweh. He was sent by the true God, the monad, to reveal the way out. In Gnostic texts, Christ is the Aeon of Gnosis. He descends through the Archons' planetary spheres, bypassing their control, to deliver the secret knowledge that shatters the illusion. What was his message? Not believe in me and be saved. It was, know thyself. The kingdom of God is within you. You are the light of the world. These aren't poetic metaphors. They're instructions for recognizing your divine nature. The Gospel of Thomas, banned by the church, records Jesus saying, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you. If you do not have that within you, what you do not have within you will kill you." Translation: your salvation isn't external. It's not about obeying commandments or performing rituals for Yahweh. It's about awakening the divine spark inside you through direct gnosis. This is why the church suppressed Gnosticism, because it makes priests, churches, and religious authority obsolete. You don't need an intermediary when you are the temple. So how do you actually do this? How do you activate Gnosis and escape the Demiurge's matrix? The Gnostics left us a roadmap. It's not about belief, it's about experience. Here are the 3 keys. First, disidentify from the material. Your body, your possessions, your social identity. These are the Demiurge's chains. Meditation, fasting, and sensory deprivation were Gnostic tools to break identification with the physical. Second, activate the divine spark. This is where practices like pineal gland activation come in. The single eye Jesus spoke of. When you awaken the inner light through contemplation and spiritual alchemy, you begin to see beyond the material veil. Third, achieve gnosis through direct experience. Not faith, not belief, knowing. The Gnostics practiced visionary meditation to pierce the Archon's illusion and experience the pleroma directly. The testimony of truth says, "No one knows the Father except the one to whom the Son has revealed him." That revealing isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing inner awakening. You're not waiting for salvation. You're becoming the Christ consciousness that was always within you. So let's bring this home. The Demiurge isn't some ancient myth. It's a framework for understanding why the world feels broken, why organized religion often feels hollow, why your soul yearns for something beyond material existence. You are not a sinner groveling before an angry God. You are a fragment of the infinite, temporarily trapped in matter, with the power to awaken and transcend. The church burned the Gnostic texts because this knowledge is dangerous to systems of control. But the truth survived, and now you have it. The question is, will you stay asleep in Yahweh's material prison? Or will you activate the Christ consciousness within and reclaim your divine inheritance? If this resonates, you're ready for the next level. Subscribe to Aware for the esoteric knowledge the church doesn't want you to find. And watch our video on pineal gland activation. It's the practical tool for awakening the single eye Jesus taught. The path to Gnosis starts now. Don't wait for permission. You are the light.